Three. Okay, well, I guess we can just edit the recording. It started. Okay, you go whenever.
Okay, hello listeners, and welcome to the Rising East Sports Roundup. I'm your host, Will Stanley. I'm here today with Tom Haggerty.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Jay Winter.
Morning, everyone.
And we're here to do a little season roundup of football in East London. We've got Tom here, our Leyton Orient correspondent. We've got Jay, our West Ham correspondent, and I'll be the Millwall man for today.
No Charlton today. We'll have to inform our listeners.
Yeah, we have an absence of our League One correspondent.
Very unfortunate. I really wanted to know what's happening in Charlton.
yeah. He's gone a bit under the radar, hasn't he?
I'm really interested in Charlton, to be fair. Right, Will, kick us off. How are Millwall doing?
So I think it's fair to say Millwall have had a pretty average season so far. They've basically been in mid-table all season, apart from towards the end of October, start of November, they were pushing for the playoffs and even automatic promotion at one point. But they've dropped out of that after a run of about 7 draws in 8-9 games, and since then they've just been winning and losing. Well, obviously they've just been having stuttering form, up and down form, and they've just been in mid-table for the rest of the season.
So where are they? They're 12th, 13th territory, is it?
12th position, yep. I think they're 19 points off the top 6 and 20 points clear of the relegation zone with 2 games to play. So it's just a matter
Sounds like
of
quite a boring season to me.
Just a matter of building for next season and hopefully mounting a playoff push for next season.
And who's your manager again?
In terms
of Gary Rowett's the current manager, who it was a bit of a surprise when he took over. Well, not a surprise, but Neil Harris was the previous manager, who's a Millwall club legend through and through, and it was a bit of a shock when he decided to leave. He went off to manage Cardiff, and that didn't go so well for him. But Gary Rowett's at the reins now at the Den, and he's not doing badly, he's not doing amazingly, but I think Millwall fans are content with the season, but I think they'll be wanting more from the man next year.
So Will, they've had a pretty average season, like you were saying, but has there been any players that have had like quite good seasons that have stood out from the crowd?
So the defense mainly has been quite the standout players have been the defenders for Millwall this season. The goalkeeper Bartosz Białkowski is 33 years old, but he's still one of the best in the championship. So he's been a bright spark, and then the 2 central defenders of Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper have been real bright sparks for them as well. I think Jake Cooper could be a strong link for maybe teams higher up the championship this season, maybe even a lower Prem team for next season. So those are the 2 real standouts. Jed Wallace has been all right in terms of attacking, but he's been the only real attacking standout player for them this season.
And going into next season, what will they be hoping for?
I think next season they'll be hoping for playoffs, but I think it will be more hope than expectation with the big money teams coming back down from the Premier League. I think they'll be the favourites to go back up again. And I think the gap between the Premier League and the Championship is just increasing so much recently that it will be difficult for a smaller team, let's say, to get up and in and about that playoff position. Hopefully there will be this season's Barnsley next year.
I wonder if having no fans at the Den has made an impact, because that's a pretty lively atmosphere normally, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, they're well known for their rowdy fans, the Millwall faithful. But they've really missed them this year. Clearly, their shooting, their scoring has been pretty poor this year. Their top 3 scorers are wide midfielders and a left back, which isn't ideal.
Sounds like they're missing Tim Cahill.
Yeah, they're missing Tim Cahill. I'm sure they'd love to have him back at this point. But so their main strikers they've had this season are Tom Bradshaw, Kenneth Zahor, Matt Smith, John Bodvason, and Troy Parrott, and combined between, what was that, 5 of them, 6 of them, they scored 9 league goals.
Troy
So-
Parrott's there, is he?
He was there at the start
Yeah.
of on loan from Tottenham for the start of the season and
Ah.
didn't impress, so they sent him back to Tottenham. I think he's gone down to League One now for a loan spell.
Have they got any Australians playing for them?
They do not. They had, I think. Oh, I don't want to embarrass myself here. I
No
won't-
Australians off the top of your head.
They don't anymore, no. But they had a left back recently whose name has escaped me, but he's left anyway. So yeah, no
Okay.
Aussies, unfortunately.
And what would you give the season a rating out of 10 then?
I guess you couldn't. I guess 5, 6 maybe. It's been pretty average all the way through, apart from that one good spell at the start of the season. So I guess that could lift up to a 6, but not very
Okay.
impressive. Not great in cup competitions either. They didn't progress past the 3rd rounds in the League Cup and only got to the 4th round of the FA Cup as well.
Interesting. Well, it sounds like quite a similar season to Leyton Orient, to be honest.
Yeah, how have they gone?
Well, so since the last time we all spoke, they've sacked their manager. Ross Embleton went in February, and they brought in Joby McAnuff as a sort of interim player manager, which is.
Did that go down well with the fans, or were they a bit ups?
I think it did. He's always been a bit of a club legend, and they've liked him. I think it was tough seeing Ross go because I think they actually thought he'd put some sort of genuine groundwork into the club and he was building it up from the sort of bottom, a sort of focus on young players. But by the time he was leaving, he had only won 4 in his last 15 games, left them in 14th place. And I think it was just a situation of like, right, if we don't change something now, this might just be the end of our season by February.
Right.
So they got this new man in. They had a good little spell in March, 4 on the bounce, and they were on the cusp of the playoffs. But their form's just dropped off dramatically, really, in the last couple of weeks, and it's just meant that they've sunk back down to 12th. They're not going to make the playoffs, and it's just sort of looking towards next season now.
Just destined for another season in League Two, is it?
Yeah, it's a shame because they've got some really good players. I mean, Danny Johnson up top, he's banged in 17 goals this season, near the sort of top end of the scoring charts. And I mean, Lawrence Figueroa in goal, he's had a great season. Third most amount of clean sheets with 18, but they're both out of contract in the summer, as are a lot of their players. And I don't know, I think they need to decide if they're going to keep McAnuff on and then rebuild from there, I think.
Any players that you can see climbing up the leagues a bit? Any standout, maybe youngsters that
I think I'm going to get flamed for the pronunciation, but Hector, he's a Cypriot, Hector Kyprianou. He plays in the sort of middle of the park for them. He's been really good youngster. I think I can see him moving up definitely to League One. I don't know if he's ready for championship sort of stuff yet, but I can see him going up. Connor Wilkinson, an Irish striker, he's been really good, scored some really important goals. So yeah, I think those 2 would be my 2 picks, but don't hold me to that.
And what would their expectations be for all of the club? What would the club be hoping for next season?
Next season, I guess a playoff push. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this summer goes and see who they can keep hold of, who they can bring in. I think it'd be sensible to give maybe McAnuff another year in charge, bring him out of that sort of player role, just give him free reins as a manager and see what he does. Before making too many drastic changes, I think another year of continuity might do them some favours.
Is McAnuff a bit of a fan's favourite? Do the fans
yeah,
like him as manager?
they do like him. Although I do think there's a sense at the moment that right, let's have him, but let's get him off the pitch. Let's just have him, from the sidelines.
Yeah. How much is he actually still playing?
Like not too much. Not too much. He'll bring himself on as a sub occasionally, but I don't.
Bit of a Vincent Kompany figure, eh?
Well, and elect.
Yeah.
Well, when we all saw how that ended, so I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope for better stuff there.
Yeah. And West Ham, Jay.
Well, talking about better stuff, I mean, West Ham have had an absolute phenomenal season. by their standards.
Annoyingly,
I mean,
they
you know, yeah, I mean, West Ham, you know, they were nearly relegated last season, if we all remember. Absolutely struggling, you know, stole Jared Bowen off, well, they stole them away from Crystal Palace because Crystal Palace was meant to sign him, weren't they, Tom?
Yeah.
But yeah, they landed they landed his signature. And I mean, he's just been one of the players. I mean, he hasn't been the standout player this season, but you know, you've had players like Cresswell playing really well, Masuaku, Antonio even done. Yes, I mean Souček. How can you look over him? I mean, absolute fantasy favorite as well for all the goals he scored from midfield. And but yeah, even like Antonio when he's been fit has played really well. I remember that goal against City early on in the season where that bicycle kick. Do you remember off against Laporte?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty juicy.
He scored 4 in one game as well, didn't he, Antonio, this season? Am I thinking of the right thing? Yeah.
Or was that last season?
Was that last season? I might be in the start of the season. It might be the start of last season.
Oh, just gonna 13th of July. Good effort, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, nearly. I'm nearly.
Blurred everything together.
Yeah.
That was against Norwich, so yeah.
Okay,
my whole sense of time is just completely off since COVID. But I was actually speaking to Rashane Thomas, you know, the athletic.
Oh, the athletic guy.
Journalist and absolute West Ham expert. And he still believes that West Ham can push for the top 4, even though, you know, they just lost to Chelsea. I mean, I was speaking to him before the Chelsea game, and he said that game was absolutely massive for them. Obviously, it was unfortunate that they lost that with the red card and everything like that. And then they ended up a 1-0 loss. But he was basically saying that after that, you know, the fixtures they have after that aren't even that difficult. So they got Southampton, Brighton, West Brom. Like, they can win those matches. You know, if they can, you know, pull themselves together. I mean, they have a few injuries like with Cresswell, Declan Rice, Antonio's out as well at the moment. But you know, with players like Lingard coming in that have done really well, I guess you could see, you know, potentially a top 4 finish if anyone, you know, slips up from up the top. I mean, Leicester.
I've just seen Chelsea's fixtures.
Games.
Chelsea still have Man City, Arsenal, and Leicester and Villa to play in the league, so they've got a lot of tough games in the running.
And they're also thinking about Champions League at the moment as well.
And an FA Cup final.
And an FA Cup final. So while they are having a very good season, you know, it could all go very south for them. Imagine they lose or they go out to Real Madrid now, they lose the FA Cup final and then don't make top 4. All of a sudden, it's not looking very good for Thomas Tuchel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I personally, I mean, this is a little away from West Ham, but Thomas Tuchel's done an amazing job at Chelsea. He's really turned them around, I think.
Yeah.
But
just their performance from last night showed how far they've come.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that German quality and the German, you know, football intelligence.
Oh, gosh, here we go again.
German engineering.
German efficiency.
Yeah. But no, so Rashane did point out one fixture there that could be a bit tricky on paper is Everton, but also mentioned and admitted that, you know, they've been a bit hit and miss, and that West Ham did beat them 1-0 on New Year's Day. So he is confident about that one as well. But it will be interesting to see how the rest of their season goes. I mean, and even if they do slip to 5th or 6th, I think Europa League might even be a really good stepping stone for them, because let's say they do make Champions League football next season. I mean, can you realistically even see them, you know, getting out of the group stage? I mean, even if they finish 4th, they first have to qualify against someone.
Yeah, it depends who they sign. I think if they make some good signings and they don't bring in another Haller or something like that, I think they could have a good little run.
Yeah.
But they could finish 5th and still qualify, right? If Chelsea or City win it.
I think that's only if Chelsea or City come outside the top 4, though. So if Chelsea win the Champions League and come 5th, then I think.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season they would have taken a Europa League spot, wouldn't they?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I think that would be a good stepping stone as well. I think that would make them still a pretty attractive club.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously Champions League football, everyone wants that, but you've
Yeah.
got Premier League champions Liverpool breathing down their necks. They're only 1 point away, and their fixtures look relatively okay for the rest of the season as well. But mind you, their season's going absolutely shocking. So
Because if Everton win, they're up and they're level on points with West Ham, aren't they? If they win their game in hand, I think they are.
True.
Let me have a check. Yeah, no, they are. So that's going to be really interesting to watch at the end of the season. I think. I don't know. I can't call it. Who do you think's gonna get the fourth spot then?
That is a really interesting point. If you look at Leicester's upcoming fixtures as well, they don't have exactly an easy run either. And yeah, they are a little bit ahead now on 62. 4 points ahead of Chelsea. You could see a couple points slipping away there, like United, Chelsea, and Tottenham aren't exactly easy games. I mean, Newcastle at home, they should be able to win that. But I mean,
no, it's going to be tight.
We'll have to see.
And the question on every West Ham's lips at the moment: do we think that they're going to keep Lingard next season?
Ooh.
Well, I was speaking to Rashane about that as well, and so can I just drop a little side note that he is adamant that Lingard should be in the England squad. What do you guys think?
I think he should. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would take him.
Been one of the players of the season since he joined West Ham, so I'd take him to the Euros, get him on the plane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, his stats are backing that up as well. I think he's got 9 goals and 3 assists in 11 appearances.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
I saw he has as many outfield goals as Bruno Fernandes has this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, far out. I mean,
which is
yeah. So, what was the question you were just asking again? And I dodged it.
Is Lingard going to stay at West Ham?
Oh yeah, so I was talking to Rashane about it, and so obviously he's currently still on loan, and there's no option to buy. But then I guess West Ham would be really interested in buying him, though, wouldn't they? I mean, how could you not after he's performed like that? And maybe he does need to play for a team where it's all about hard work and just work off the ball, and maybe with the less pressure at West Ham as well.
Yeah. All right. So
the change.
If they do want to buy him, how much is he worth?
Ooh, what a question.
You see, with the transfer market over the last couple of years, with performances like that, it's hard to imagine United would take anything under 30 million.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah. Well, you look
at even higher.
Yeah.
He's not that young anymore either. I think he's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how long he's got left on his United contract?
You stumped me there, mate. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, I've got it. He's got 1 more year at United.
1 more year, is that it?
Yeah.
So look at that. So his manager would now be in talks with everyone, I reckon. Specifically West Ham and United. And it would either be, who do you reckon would offer him more money, do you think?
I don't know. It depends how much Solskjaer wants him, I think. If he can fit him in his plans, I can imagine them just giving him some sort of bumper contract for a few years.
I also think it depends on if West Ham can get top 4. If they get Champions League football, they'll have the money to pay Lingard a lot more money as well.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
True. And imagine he plays phenomenally well at the Euros if he is selected.
That could raise his price tag.
Do you think?
Yeah.
That would make him, proven on an international stage as well, kind of thing. But then, do United then say, far out, we're missing out on something here, or do they cash in on him? Because he's only played 2 games this season for United. Obviously, he's been on loan, but I just don't see where they would fit him in.
Yeah, because his favourite position is behind the striker, and I can't see him taking Fernandez's spot there.
Oh.
No, and he was pretty useless, wasn't he, for United for quite a bit?
He was very useless.
So I don't know.
I mean, I was completely shocked when I started seeing his stats go up for West Ham. I mean,
I know
when I first saw it.
I never put him in my fantasy.
Oh, why? Yeah, I was like, why have they signed him? This is such a weird signing. Like,
Yeah,
he just seems so. He just seems so finished. Yet David Moyes has worked his magic, and look at him go.
he's a machine now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is good. He is good.
Lingardinho.
Imagine if I can imagine us talking about this last time we did a podcast, saying that Lingard's on the
way to the Euros.
on the way to the Euros, outscoring
gosh.
Fernandez.
Yeah.
If Jack Grealish and James Maddison were both completely fit, do you still think Lingard would give them a run for their money that much?
I think Lingard would start ahead of Maddison. I'm not sure he'd start ahead of Grealish. Also, there's the whole Phil Foden debate as well.
Well, Foden's going. I think I'd take Foden over any of those.
Yeah.
I think.
Mount,
that's a fair
There's Mount
point.
as well.
Mount, that is the problem with England. We've just got so many players. Don't know. We can't fit them all into the squad.
I think Maddison might have fucked it to be. Well, we're swearing now on here. I think Maddison might have messed up a little bit when he was done for the out for that party.
COVID.
I think that might have been his final nail in the coffin.
But I mean, they've all done something. I mean, Foden had that whole thing in
Iceland,
where he was Mason Greenwood, and Jack Grealish crashed his car while drunk.
Yeah, that's all good points.
They're all trying their hardest not to get picked, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, Mason Mount is like really the only saint boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's Gareth's angel, isn't he, Mount?
Yeah,
Gareth's
exactly.
angel. Right.
We should. Well, I think we should do another podcast then before we should choose our England squads next time.
That's a great shout. Yeah. Let's do that. A little Euro prediction as well.
Yeah. But should we wrap this one up for the day?
I'm purposely going to pick a bad England squad. Yeah.
Well,
I
was about to say who are Australia taking, and then realised that wasn't the best question ever. Is it?
Yeah, they didn't qualify, did they?
Mate, we're in Eurovision. So,
You're in Eurovision.
I don't see why we can't be in it. Yeah, I don't
Get into the Euros then.
Euro 2021.
All right, thank you guys for listening. This has been Tom Haggerty.
Oh,
You're Will Stanley, mate.
Yeah, I was kind of getting you to sign that off, mate.
Cheers, guys.
And Jay Winter.
Cheers, lads.
And I've been Will Stanley. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.